Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. As you can see of the title of this video, it is a stalker story. And I figured I would share it with you because it's something that has happened to me that was very, very scary. Thankfully, nothing ever happened as far as like something bad, but it got pretty close. So I will go ahead and tell you the story. So I work at this apartment complex and we have about 200 units here. It's a great neighborhood. I enjoy working with the people I work with, and it's a very just relaxed, fun atmosphere. There's this tenant and he would come in often for cookies and coffee, and suddenly he just started to say things like, "Oh, you're so beautiful. You should do like the pageants or something like that, and any man would be lucky to have you. You're just so stunning," and things that wasn't very that much appropriate to talk to me about. And then he would say things like, "Oh, I would love to like take you out if I wasn't old." And then suddenly he would start bringing me like candy. He started bringing me like gifts, like mugs and teddy bears and things like that. So I started to be like, this is kind of weird. Why would he bring me this? I'm like, maybe he's just being nice. I don't know. So there is this one day where he came into the office and he's like, "I have a work order, but I need to like write it down for you." So I was like, "Okay, here's the paper, here's the pen, go ahead." I turn around and I'm on the computer inputting data and doing all my stuff while he's doing that. And he literally leaves me a note, and I'm not sure if you will be able to see it, but he leaves me that note. But I started to feel weird because instead of just like being like, "Here you go," he like slides, like literally just slides the paper and pen towards me, and then he's like sits back like this, and he's just like smiles like this, like a weird like thirsty smile. And then when I grab the paper, he like gets up and goes to the door and freaking unlocks the door. So this whole time I was by myself, locked in the office with him, and I didn't even notice he locked the door. So that scared me a little bit. That really did. So I continue to read the note, and the note, he calls me L. Okay, so I continue to read it, and he's like, "L, please let yourself into my apartment anytime you need, want, or desire, because I love you. You're mine." Oh my gosh. Okay, and then he's like, "P.S. please don't let them know my phone number. You have the keys. Now take my ring and leave it on your cute little finger, you beautiful. I need you. Please stay with me." That's exactly my reaction to that. I was just like, holy hell, like what the and so I was just like freaking out because he like took it to the next step, especially after deadbolting the door behind like right there. So I start getting like a little stressed and have like anxiety kick in. So then my property manager walks in, and I'm like, "I need to tell you something. Like, let's go in your office, let's talk." So I show her the ladder, and she's like, "What the hell? Like, why would he do that?" I'm like, "I know, and check this out. He even locked the door behind him sometime when he walked in, and I didn't even notice." And she's like, "Oh no, that's not good." And so I'm like, I don't know what to do about it. And she's like, "Okay, so let's figure everything out." So as we're talking, he comes back in, and he thinks I'm alone again, and I see him lock the door, and I'm just like, I don't want to say, "What are you doing? Don't lock the door," because what if like he attacks me or something? Like what if like something happens? So I pretend I didn't see that, and I go and sit to my chair, and I text her saying he's here. Then she walks out. She's like, "Hey, can I help you with anything?" And then he's like, "Oh, no, I'm just fine," or whatever. And then she asks him like, "Why is the door locked?" He's like, "Oh, it's just habit, because it's my apartment, it has the same lock, and we're just being like understandable, you know what I mean?" So he goes and unlocks it and stuff, and then he goes back on the couch, and he sits there just like this with his arms out, and then he's just like, Then when she leaves, he ends up doing this. He does this and he does this with his hands. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what are you doing? Like, what is that supposed to mean? So he's like that for probably a solid like 5 minutes. And I did not say anything to him. I just like was like working on the computer and just focusing on that stuff and hoping that he would leave. So he eventually leaves. Our regional manager comes in because they have meetings and all that kind of stuff. So our manager walks in and my property manager tells him the story. Then he talks to me about it. I'm like, yes, he's so weird. It's like scaring the heck out of me. And I don't know what to do. Like, I don't want to call the police and be like this whole thing when we can just take care of it or whatever and stuff. And he's like, okay, well, this is definitely gonna, you know, we're gonna bring this to the attention of the community, not the community, but the corporate and et cetera, okay? Just because of the safety, because it's a safety issue at this point. So he walks back in and he thinks I'm alone. Like, he thinks I'm alone, and he goes back and he locks the door. And our property manager comes out and he's like, why is that door locked? You are not allowed to lock that door, and it's very inappropriate that you left letters like that to our leasing agent and this and that. And he's like, you can't talk to me. I can do whatever I want. I didn't do anything wrong. You know, I'm gonna F you guys up with corporate, and you're just gonna be like nothing. And Marielle is gonna be like the property manager. She needs to move up because she's better than you guys, and like all this like talk. And I was just sitting there like, I don't want to be a property manager, and I don't like you talking like this. It's like scary, because he was like cussing and screaming and like really like ugh, like, I don't know. Like, I've never seen him like that. And so, like, I was getting so scared, and I live in the property. So, and he lives like a building down. So I got so scared every night. I would make sure my door is dead bolted and like all these things, because I wouldn't be surprised if he knew where I lived. So we end up calling the police, and the police comes in and like looks for him, and they find him, and they talk to him, and then they talk to me, the whole like interview. And then like they told him he cannot be close to me or else he'll get arrested or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what was spoken, but just something along those lines, that he just wasn't even allowed to go into the office unless he was paying rent. But of course he never did that, and he would still come in and get coffee and cookies and try to start a chit chat. It got really bad to the point that we ended up having to like evict him. My regional manager and my property manager, you know, took care of the situation. They even went to court with the paper and everything to get him evicted from the apartments and just all these things, because it was at this point a safety issue. So that is my stalker story. I have not seen him ever since that day, the last day after the court thing. So I'm glad that he's just gone. My anxiety and everything is just not like that anymore. But I did go get myself a taser. I ended up getting a taser just in case, because you never know. And I recommend you all to get either a taser or a pepper spray or just something that will like protect you, because you never know when you're gonna run into anything like that. Well, it's a pink taser. It's from Vipertech, and you just plug it in the wall to recharge it. And then it does have a cute little flashlight, and it's really strong. Like, that's so scary. It's so scary. And hopefully I don't need to use this on anyone's neck or side or whatever. Like, I hope I never have to use it. But yeah, that's my stalker story. It was scary, it was frightening to me, it was stressful and everything, but I'm just glad that that's over with and I don't have to worry about it anymore, at least like with him. All right, well, just make sure you subscribe and follow me on YouTube, Facebook, on Twitter, and Snapchat, and all the links are below. And I'll have more stories for you coming up soon. Bye.